It's an orange juice.
Introducing Arena 11, the legendary arena. Wait, Hog Mountain? My god. Alright, so joining us here today is Woody from Reddit Alpha.
Many thanks for inviting me, Yarn. It's always great to get to do some videos with you.
So how are you feeling about the Bandit right now?
About the Bandit. I think that you showed us how it ought to be played. You know, I tweeted out this GIF earlier from your video of you getting a 3 for 12 trade and then knocking the tower. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone play it better than you. I'm feeling, you know, just kind of so-so on it right now because it feels like a card that is like, ideally is meant to knock down the kind of glass cannon troops, the range troops. Like ideally she'd be going up against things like, you know, archers or musketeer on the back end, and then trying to take that into a counter push after she finishes them off.
A lot of people are feeling like she's a little underpowered, but skeletons don't even fully counter her. Like, I've had instances where people would put skeletons in front of the tower, she'd wipe out those 4 skeletons, then go straight to the tower. Yeah, it's only 1 elixir, but it's kind of hard, you know? A lot of people aren't feeling very confident about the Bandit right now. That GIF is kind of gimmick. Who's gonna plant those very specific cards?
Right, it is a little gimmicky, but I think it was more of a proof of concept, really, than, you know, just like demonstrating actual gameplay. Her abilities to dash from like one side to the other are really great. The spread out, you know, opponents often will spread their troops out in order to try to prevent you from being able to kind of lock onto all of them. She counters that. She is kind of the troop that gets value best when those kind of smaller troops are spread out because she gets to do the dash, right? The dash, the key mechanic that she is working with, that 4 tile range needs to be maintained to get the value out of her. You don't really get very much if you're just rocking that closer attack. She's actually pretty weak on that front. She hits just about as hard, I think, as like a knight, is that right?
Yeah, it's really similar to a knight, and I love how her dash is invulnerable. Like, she just completely bypasses the first attack from the bowler. It's so great. Oh, by the way, true red and blue is fixed. Check this out, check it out, check it out. Hog push. What? No units? What the fudge?
It's fixed. It's the same on both sides.
Oh yeah, you saw it here first live, ladies and gentlemen. I'll probably be posting a video about like all the changes because it did fix it, but it also changed some certain interactions as well. Like Tornado operates a little bit differently now. It's very subtle though.
Oh, yeah, all of our competitive nerd tendencies have gotten used to playing in one very specific way. It's good to know that the developers are working on those little tiny quality of life differences on the back end to improve. You know,
I disagree. Quality of life. If they had quality of life, then we would have 5 deck slots.
Oh man, that's true. That's true. This is competitive quality of life, though, right? We're looking specifically at the things that make it possible to turn this thing into an esport, making it a little bit more equitable on both sides, right?
Yeah, they sound like they're more inclined to make it more of an esport. Before they were kind of divided, but I think they're really putting a focus on it nowadays.
That's true. They were kind of wishy-washy. They you know, were really seeking to, I think, protect the brand. That's the impression that I got, making sure that Clash Royale has this good reputation in the community by you know, making sure that every event that takes place is kind of well tuned to what they're looking for. And once they kind of establish themselves, then focusing more on, you know, letting the players do kind of whatever suits them in terms of, you know, advancing that scene. For example, the clan battle is only going to be available for 3 days out of 14. They have shown that they are really interested in like perfecting something, almost to the point being withholding in some of these you know, game modes. The draft mode's another great example of that. It comes back every once in a while, but Clash Royale really is focused on getting things right before they share everything with the world. That's been the overall trajectory in the past, but with the fix here to True Blue, I think that is another great example of something that they're doing on the back end, perfect it before they really bring it to the world stage in a bigger way.
It's very interesting. If you look into the mechanics really deeply for True Red and True Blue, it's not just one simple fix. It's not just XY. It's like multiple things. Like, for example, my latest video with the Goblin Barrel, that had nothing to do with XY coordinates. That was actually tower priority.
Huh.
So the Goblin Barrel would always attack on the left side for true red, and then on the right side for true blue. Whereas in this build now, they actually start on the inside for both towers, so they're completely consistent. So true red is very complex. We might not see like full fixes per se yet, but we will start seeing a lot less inconsistencies. So as new cards get released, we might have different mechanics, or I mean, nobody even knew about true red or blue about the Goblin Barrel because nobody pays attention to that stuff. I think there could still be some lingering effects that we will have to find as a community.
We are playing this beautiful new arena. What do you think of it in terms of just the art? You know, not really thinking about it too hard on the competitive front.
It's like a Frankenstein of the Hog Arena and that Roll Arena. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's still got these like really super big statues up here, right? What is it? The big blue dude and the red dude?
Yeah, and they're actually kings now, whereas before they were hog riders, and most people didn't even realize they were hog riders. I didn't realize until half a year into the game that those statues were hog riders.
Yeah, they were hog riders. They look like these big old, you know, just mythical giant dudes, but they really were just hogs. So that's why the new arena is replacing the old arena, and the old arena is getting a new name. It's no longer the legendary arena, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Hog Mountain, which it should have been on the first day. That makes so much sense. It'll be cool. This arena is a nice change.
Well, Yarn, you are a consummate mortar defender. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to get this thing to lock on. You keep on teasing me and saying that this thing doesn't deserve a nerf, or doesn't deserve a buff, rather. Switch my words up. I think you've got to agree with me here.
I'm always on your tail for that.
Right? You got a buff mortar. What was that?
Well, I've probably played 1,000 mortar games before then. Really funny. I was actually scared to speak out about it back then because there's just so much animosity towards the mortar back then.
That good. I know. And they made it a lot worse by increasing the deploy time. And then they introduced a bunch of hard counters, most notably the Royal Giant. But speaking of Royal Giant, I would like to run a Royal Giant deck.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm secretly a mortar advocate, but I really don't think it needs a buff right now.
You're a mortar advocate, but you don't think it needs a buff?
No.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Battle Ram?
Battle Ram, I still think it's a little underpowered. I feel like it pretty rarely actually reaches the target that it's looking for, and then even when it does, you're going to use it right now against me just to prove a point. even when it does, you know, the two barbs that pop out are good, but not great. A little too fragile or a little too slow. I think that if they buffed it up one way or another by improving one of those, that'd be good.
I think you're just looking at it the wrong way. I never expect it to connect to the tower. What it is just kind of a decoy. I forced you to play your furnace right there. And then after the furnace, the barbarians supported my bandit, and that way I was able to get your tower from there. It's really a threatening card, but I would never consider it like a hog just because it's very, very hard to connect. I feel like it's more defensive, in my opinion. Huh. I guess it's all about how you perceive it.
Oh, I've been proven wrong. The Battle Ram, sleeper hero of the March update.
You actually didn't have many opportunities for me to use Battle Ram because if you rushed in with Electro Wizard and Knight, then I would have used Battle Ram defensively. Right as the Ram pops, then the barbarians would kind of attack everything, and the Ram already has a lot of health. It has 756 health, so the total health is actually pretty good value for it.
Okay. I have seen him several times by some really good players. Surgical Goblin comes to mind, someone who showed me that it can be used, it is viable. I don't know if it's great, but it does get value here and there.
I feel like it's perfectly balanced right now. That's why it's not being overused. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. Thank you so much for appearing tonight, Woody.
Yeah, it was my pleasure stopping by. Thanks for not stopping me too hard in some of these matches. You've clearly been doing your homework on preparing with the Bandit. She's a great new card, and I look forward to experimenting more with her as well. But until next time, thanks for inviting me, and I hope to get some more games in with you soon.
It was a pleasure, so stay tuned for more quality OJ.